Attention, please. Here's something I bet you didn't know. Not all supplements are created equal. At HealthSpan, our omega-3 oil is sustainably sourced from the South Pacific Ocean. We find our turmeric in the southern slopes of India. And our cod liver oil comes from the cold, crisp seas off Greenland. We work hard to seek out the best ingredients for our supplements, because that's the HealthSpan way. We're healthspan.co.uk. Vitamins and supplements in-store or direct to your door.
Right now, it's more vital than ever that we keep in touch. So at LOUGHBORO, we're offering a great value SIM-only deal. 1,000 texts and 1,000 minutes to the UK. 100 extra minutes to 40 other countries, plus 2 gigs of data. All for just £5. No contract. You can change at any time. Not that you'd want to. LOUGHBORO. Stay connected.
BENSON. Battleborn.
Whatever your day holds, you need a breakfast that helps you get up and go. Up.
And go, go, go.
Up. And go. A delicious breakfast shake made with oats and milk. High in fibre, high in protein, high in calcium. Start right with Up and Go. The official breakfast partner of British Swimming. Find us in the cereal aisle.
Welcome to the first final session of the British Swimming Selection Trials here for the 2020 Olympics, or is it the 2021 Olympics? Whichever way, 35 golden tickets will be available for that aeroplane to Tokyo in July of this year. Not all of them will be selected here. This is the main selection trial, but there will also be some other meets where the selectors are allowed to top up the team. There's probably another 3 or 4 meets where they can top up the team from them. But what a set of finals. Straight up women's 200 metres freestyle with Freya Anderson and Abbie Wood. Looking forward to that scrap. They've been head-to-head, well, the last 3 or 4 races, and it's swapped gold and silver each time. Men's 400 metres freestyle should be really interesting as well. Can they get the qualification standard? 3:46 is very fast. Then the women's 400 medley. And Amy Wilmot qualifies as fastest for that final, the Commonwealth champion. Hannah Miley in there as well. Had a bit of injury, so we'll have to see how she goes. But then the big one, the men's 100 metres breaststroke. And 2 of our 4 pre-selected swimmers for the Olympic team, for the British Olympic team in that one race. You get pre-selected because of medals at the World Championships 2 years ago, and they went gold and silver, Peaty and Wilby. And the world record holder, Adam Peaty, swam a brilliant swim this morning, 57.7. There's the officials for today. The men's referee, Craig Hunter, in the centre of those three. Women's referee, Tom Baster. And the starter, Matt Huntington. So that's the men's 100 metres breaststroke, but it's not just those two, Peaty and Wilby. Ross Murdoch has been World Championship bronze medalist on the 100 breaststroke. He goes in 3, the third fastest, and swam really well this morning. 59.53, just off his Scottish record. That would be really interesting because we're only allowed to have 2 swimmers per event at the Olympic Games. And with Peaty and Wilby going 1-2 at the World Championships, you'd normally say, well, that's it. That's event closed for the Olympic Games, but you can't close it off. This is a trials. And if Murdoch gets in there and sticks in a 58 or so, that would be fascinating. What a problem to have. That really is a first world problem, isn't it? And then race after that, women's 100 metres butterfly, really scrapping for the title there. The time 57.9. If they can do that qualification standard, they will be considered for an individual spot. But of course, the women's 4x1 medley relay, very important indeed, because we've got some very good other strokes. Backstroke, Kathleen Dawson, of course, done really well. And the final race, men's 200 medley, sees Duncan Scott against the Litchfield boys, and they have him surrounded. Scott in 4, Max Litchfield in 3, and Joe Litchfield in 5. So the first race up will be the women's 200 metres freestyle. The consideration time 1:57.28, and I expect on the very first event here at this British Olympic selection trial, I would imagine the qualification standard will be obliterated, certainly by the first 2, and it'd be great to see maybe 1 or 2 others getting close to it as well. Here's the slowest qualifier for this final, but she swam a lifetime best to get in. Mia SLEVIN of DERVENTIO, one of 3 swimmers in this final who qualified for the European Juniors in 2019, swam the 4x2 free relay, and they got a silver. Candice Hall of Loughborough University going in lane 7, just outside of her lifetime best to qualify for this final. And then Lucy Hope in 6th from Edinburgh. And an interesting lane for Lucy because she's going to be right next to Abbie Wood of Loughborough National Centre, and Abbie does like to go out pretty quickly. Here is Abbie. What a season she's had. She swam in the International Swimming League representing the New York Breakers and had an outstanding series of swims. Loved the whole thing. Short course meters, broke the British record 200 medley. I think she went 2:04. Phenomenal. And she's going to be up against Freya Anderson. Here she is, the statuesque Bath National Centre swimmer. Recently moved from Ellesmere College, where Alan Bircher did such a great job with her. TAMRYN van SELM, the 3rd of that quartet of European junior medalists in the 4x2 free relay. And great to see them starting to come through into the senior ranks. TAMRYN in lane 3. Now, Holly Hibbott, what can she do? Her best time, 1:58.1. And if she could do that here, that would be really useful for the relay as well. I expect the lanes 4 and 5 to go pretty quick, maybe 1:56s or so. But if Holly Hibbott can also stick in a decent time, then that relay suddenly has got a cracking chance of making Olympic final and doing something special. Emma Russell of University of Stirling completes the field, 7th fastest, again on that European junior team that won the silver. Swam a lifetime best to make this final. So, confirmation of the finalists. Freya Anderson goes in 4, the fastest seed. Abbie Wood of Loughborough National Centre in 5. First final, this British swimming selection trials for the Olympic Games in Tokyo in July. Women's 200 metres freestyle. There's Freya. She's in 4. So 4 lengths to the pool. The first final of this Olympic trials. And right in the centre in that bright pink suit. I'm very pleased she's got that on because the rest of them are fairly difficult to pick out. But that is Abbie Wood of the Loughborough National Centre. And she has had a super meet so far. A super year, I should say. Also going out very quickly is Lucy Hope of Edinburgh. One lane closer to us from that pink suit. Lucy out first, 27.3, 27.5 for Abbie and 27.6 for Freya. And watch Freya Anderson in lane 4, just 1 lane up from the pink suit. She will just stalk Abbie Wood all the way. She's also just having a quick look at Lucy Hope as well, because Lucy's gone off pretty fast down this first 100. Just missed, just outside of her lifetime best to qualify. 1:59.96 is her best, and she's going really quickly here. If she can hold on, this is a great swim. Hope first, Wood second, Anderson third, Hall fourth, and Hibbott fifth. And she can come back quickly up there in lane 2 as well, for watch for her. So now we expect Freya Anderson to start moving up, the Bath National Centre swimmer. And she's just doing that right now. Good solid swim. And Abbie Wood trying to go with her. Lucy Hope holding on as well in 6. But Anderson's going in 4. Anderson's made her move. Can Abbie, underwater from Abbie Wood is super. Look at that. Well, she's certainly not the tallest swimmer. Freya Anderson most certainly is at 6'3". And Anderson at the moment leading, but still hanging on is Lucy Hope. This is a great swim from her. Also going well up there in 2 is Holly Hibbott. But it looks like it's going to be Freya Anderson with about 15 minutes to go if she can hold on. 15 metres to go, I should say. 5 metres to go, and it looks like Freya Anderson head down. Anderson's going to take it. The time 1:57, 1:56.80 takes the title in the women's 200 metres freestyle, and that's well under the consideration time of 1:57.2. Second was 1:57.48. Oh, just 0.2 of a second outside of the consideration time. On the right-hand side there, that pink suit of Abbie Wood. And third, I think it was Lucy Hope in 1:57.6, and that's a really good swim from her as well. Well, that is great news for Team Great Britain, because that 4x2 freestyle relay is very strong now. Very strong indeed. And I think those first 2 can actually go quite a bit quicker. What are you letting nerves a little bit get to them? 1:56.8. I think they can both probably go 1:56 lows, maybe even 1:55. If you put those 2 at that time, then the 1:57, 1:58 suddenly make up a really great relay. Wow. Well, interesting tactically down that first 100 metres. Lucy Hope going out very quickly and held on well. Abbie Wood went with her. And then Freya Anderson, well, there's Freya. She was just stalking them down that first 75 or so on the right-hand side there. Holly Hibbott. So a good final there. Holly was 4th, 1:58.4. Only just outside of her best at 1:58.1. Freya looks like she's just she's just been for a walk in the park. Look at that. I'm not sure she knows how good she is, you know. She can be absolutely fantastic. Super talented woman. Coached by Dave McNulty at the Bath National Centre. And let's see what the swimmers have got to say. I think Jazz Carlin, going to have a quick chat with them.
Freya, first swim of the competition, first swim of the Selection Trials 2021, and under the consideration time for Tokyo. How does that feel to you?
Yeah, it feels really good to get under the time, and obviously I wanted a bit faster, but it's still good to get into the 1:56s. Like, I think my PB was from like a year ago, so it's just good to be back where I was.
Yeah. Exactly, it's just great to be back here racing. We are in the new normal, obviously not having family and friends, but I know they'll be watching you at home. We've seen you move to work with David McNulty at the Bath National Centre. How's that working for you?
Yeah, it's really good. It was just such a smooth transition, and like I'm really happy that I moved there. I love the group that I'm training with, and I love Dave, so it's really good, yeah.
And we're seeing you in the 100 freestyle coming up later in the week. Is that the only event we've got you coming up in?
Yeah, I've got a few days rest now, so that's quite good. And yeah, the 100's on Saturday, so hopefully just get the heats done and then see what I can go in the final.
Well, congratulations, Freya. It's great to see you back racing, and congratulations on getting the time.
Thank you.
Well, she certainly swam that 200 metres freestyle well. I think she can probably go a little bit quicker. And I wouldn't be too surprised if by the time we get through a couple more of the meets that you can qualify at. European Championships, of course, coming up where Team Great Britain will probably send a team. Everything, of course, subject to COVID, but that's in Hungary, in Budapest. And they've run a couple of meets there under COVID bubbles in safe environments, and they've done well. So I would imagine that's not a bad place to go in terms of risk versus reward. European Championships coming up in May. And then there's a couple of others. There's a European circuit, and then Great Britain putting on a final qualification meet up in Glasgow. So the next race up, men's 400 metres freestyle. Dan Jervis of Swansea University is the fastest seed. He'll be going in lane 4. JAKOB GOODMAN of Loughborough University. He's got the 400 free here, and then he's also got the 200 fly tomorrow. What a couple of days he's got. English National Winter Champion on the 200 free short course. A couple of years ago. Here's Stephen Milne. Interesting lane for him. His lifetime best is the fastest of this field, 3:46.00. And if he does that, he'll certainly be on the plane to Tokyo, I'm sure. Luke Turley swam well to make this final. Right on his lifetime best, just 2/10 outside it. 3:52.00 from the Bath National Centre. Swimming the 4, the 8 and the 15. William Bell goes in 5. Huge lifetime best from him. 3-second lifetime best to qualify, second fastest for the Olympic trials. How about that? And here's Dan Jervis of Swansea University. He was a European junior champion on the 1500 metres freestyle 7 years ago. Still going really well. Commonwealth Games silver medalist on that same 1500 free at the Gold Coast in 2018. KIERAN Bird of the Bath National Centre. I'm looking forward to his 800 freestyle, you know. He's swimming the 2, the 4 and the 8 here. The longer the better, really. This might be a little bit short for him. Now, Thomas Dean, Bath National Centre, he goes in lane 2. Spent most of his swimming life training at Maidenhead with Paul Lloyd. What a great job he's done with him. Now he's moved to the National Centre in Bath with Dave McNulty. And really enjoying his time there. And then Charlie Hutchison of the Loughborough National Centre in lane number 1. Another huge lifetime best, another 3.5 seconds to qualify for this final. So, this will be fascinating. Tom Dean in lane 2 is very quick. I have to say he's been enormously unlucky with COVID. I didn't think you could get it twice, but go and have a chat with Tom. He'll tell you all about it. And he was track and traced. Of course, every time he has to take time out of the water. He has to self-isolate. That's a lot of time when he wasn't able to train. But this young man, I've got to say, has a wonderful future. He'll be up in lane 2. There's the green hat of Dan Jervis of Swansea University in 4. Commonwealth silver medalist in 2018. Bronze in Glasgow in 14. 400 metres freestyle final. Well, absolute silence for the start. Normally don't get it quite that quiet, but part of the reason is there's no spectators here. There are 0 spectators allowed. It's only swimmers and coaches. And very quick is Tom Dean up there in lane number 2 from the Bath National Centre. Well, he swam pretty quickly down the first 200 metres in the heats this morning and then eased back a little bit. But look at this. He's certainly going for it. 25.6 to his feet. Good heavens. Well, he looks Long and strong, lovely stroke. I absolutely adore that stroke. He just surfs off that arm. There in the centre, working a little bit harder, the green hat of Dan Jervis of Swansea University, and then one lane up from him, the 800 specialist, Kieran Bird. Kieran between the leader, Tom Dean, and Dan Jervis. Dan trying to go with Tom. Tom Dean over first, 53.8 is quick. Jervis second, Bird third. And Goodman at the moment closest to us in lane number 8, turning in fourth after the first 100. 8 lengths in total, 6 at that last turn, so 5 to go at this turn. And Tom Dean, British champion on the 200 medley and the 400 medley in 2018. And Dave McNulty doing a super job working with him now. Poor Lloyd at Maidenhead did a wonderful, wonderful job getting him there. I'm sure they still talk to each other an awful lot. Just easing back a little bit now, Tom Dean. And starting to come through is the 1500 free specialist in the centre, Dan Jervis of Swansea. They've gone off well. Still Dean leading. The 200, 152. Was that 151.99 for Tom Dean? Second was Dan Jervis, 152.2. And third, 152.4 for Kieran Bird. Now, normally it's this stage that the big guys really get going, and starting to move through is Kieran Bird in the black hat, splitting those two. Kieran Bird starting to stalk the leader there in the white hat, Tom Dean. Dan Jervis going with them as well. And if they are going to do this qualification standard of 3 minutes 46.7, it's a consideration standard. If they make it, they're not definitely on the plane, but if they win the race and do the qualification time, surely they're going to be going. And Tom Dean looks really good. Well, he had a little bit of a ropey period just going into that 175 to 200 metres or so, but he's starting to look good again, starting to pick it up at the 300-metre turn. 2 lengths to go. Dean over first. And if he can keep this up, he's going to make the qualification standard of 346.78. Dean first. Second is Jervis. Third, very close behind now, is Kieran Bird of Bath National Centre. And it looks like the black hat of Kieran Bird starting to take over, certainly from Dan Jervis. And is he starting to challenge Tom Dean up there as well? This is going to be a fascinating last 50. Let's see the turn, how tired. A little bit slow over there from Dean, a little bit tired. A big breath as well off the wall. And look at this from Kieran Bird. He's got a fantastic turn of speed. Look at this. This is going to be very, very interesting. Well, Tom Dean's got a really good 200 metres freestyle, but it looks like Kieran Bird's starting to swim away. In his best events, the 800 still to come. The time we've got to watch, 3:46.78. That's the qualification standard, the consideration standard, 3:46.78. Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, he's got it. 3:47, has he? 3:46.00. He's 7/10 of a second underneath the consideration standard. That is an outstanding swim from young Kieran Bird. My word, that is brilliant. What a last 50. Well, if he can go that quick on the last 50, what happens if he goes with 100 to go? Great swim from him. Second was Tom Dean, 3:47.4. Just 7/10 of a second outside of the qualification standard. And third, Dan Jervis, 3:47.6. Wow. Well, I didn't see that coming, I have to say. Kieran Bird swam it so well. Let the big boys do the work and just kept on tracking them. But that last 50, I'd love to know what the time the split was, because that was incredible. Look at that. He's won the race. He's done the consideration standard for the Olympic team. Look at his face. That's what it means. Good man. Good man. I think you're going to Tokyo. They still have to choose the team, so the selectors will be meeting on Monday, the day after these trials are over, and they will choose the first bulk of the team, and then the rest of them will be made up from other meets coming forward, the Europeans, etc. But it's going to be hard not to choose this guy. Look at his face. Ah. Well done. Well done. Where did that come from? 3:46.00. That's a real world-class time as well. And I can't believe how quick that last 50 was. I'm sure his coach, Joel Fink, will be looking at the splits and going, why don't you go a bit quicker, a bit sooner? Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. He's just won the Olympic trial for the 400 metres freestyle and a massive lifetime best. His best before this was 3 minutes 50.9. He's just gone 3:46.0. That's nearly 5 seconds underneath his old lifetime best. Well done, sir. Well done. God, I can't wait for his interview. That's going to be utterly fascinating. It really is. Hopefully Jazz will manage to have a chat with him in a second. Jazz Carling, of course, Olympic silver medalist on the 400, this 400 and the 800 metres freestyle. So she knows all about it. She's been there. So just confirming the results at the moment. Well, you don't normally see a disqualification on a 400 metres freestyle. There's not too many things you can get disqualified for on freestyle. It's possibly going too early off the gun. That's one of them. But after that, I mean, it is freestyle. You can do what you like. You can do backstroke if you like. You can do breaststroke. I wouldn't advise it, but you can. So I think they're still just confirming the results, which is highly unusual for a 400 freestyle. So there we go. Thank goodness for that. Confirmation of the result of the men's 400 metres freestyle. A massive shock, a 5-second lifetime best for KIERAN Bird of the Bath National Centre in a new qualification standard. And he is talking to Jazz Carling.
KIERAN, the smile said it all. 3:46.00 under the consideration time and a 4-second PB. How do you feel?
I'm just over the moon that the work from all the years that I've been swimming has come together. Yeah, just so happy with that.
Were you expecting the time? Or obviously you've been working hard with your coach Joel at the Bath National Centre. Did you think you had that swim in you?
Yeah, so me and Joel have been working on the 800 all year, because that's the one we've been targeting. And yeah, that was kind of very unexpected, but I just felt great.
You said to me you can't wait to call your mum. Obviously family can't be here, but I know they'll be supporting you at home. Have you got a message for them at home?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Mum and Dad for just all the years that they've helped me. Yeah, and everyone at home and everyone that's helped me along the years. Yeah, just over the moon. Amazing.
Well, congratulations, and we can't wait to see you in the rest of the swims and the rest of the week. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks.
Well, that was one impressive swim. That was. I'd imagine there's some tears at home. I hope there are. That's just a fantastic swim. Absolutely stunning. What a time to do it as well at the Olympic trials. And I just can't see him not being on the plane in the first cut of Olympians. The selection board will be sitting on Monday. But if you go 0.3 of a second underneath the consideration time and you win the trial, what else can they do? Give them the problem, that's what I say. What a lovely problem to have. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well, from the 400 metres freestyle to the 400 metres individual medley for women. And AMELIA MONAGHAN of the city of Sheffield in lane 8. It's a little bit outside her lifetime best to qualify for this final, but in the final she is. Orla Adams of Aberdeen Performance, one of 2 Aberdeen swimmers in this final. Her teammate, of course, the great Hannah Miley. Excuse me, Hannah Miley, there she is. 36 international medals Hannah Miley's got, coached by her dad, Patrick. She's actually had a couple of injuries. She's just coming back from a shoulder, a really nasty shoulder injury actually, which explains her a slightly sluggish-looking performance this morning. But I have to say, it was her first 400 medley back after surgery, and 400 medley is such a tough event. Lily Booker swam a great heat, a really great heat. And she's qualified second fastest in lane 5. Amy Wilmot's Commonwealth champion on this 400 medley, and she needs to swim right on her lifetime best if she's going to qualify for the Olympic Games here. 4:36.3. Her lifetime best actually is 4:33. I mean, if she can get close to that, she'll be on the plane. Freya Colbert of Nova Centurion swam well at the Manchester qualification meets, or the time trials, I should say. 2 time trials put on in February and March just to get long course racing again. And she swam really well there, 2nd and 3rd in those 2, 1 in February, 1 in March. Katie Shanahan of City of Glasgow, bronze medalist at Junior European Championships in 2019, 2 years ago. And Isabelle Goodwin of the City of Leeds completes the lineup, 7th fastest for this final. Interestingly, all 8 of these swimmers swam pretty comfortable heats to get through, possibly with the exception of Hannah, but only really Hannah Miley in 6th because of that shoulder. British record holder. And well, it's great to see her here. And because there's more selection meets coming up, she has a good chance, if she can get that shoulder better, look after it very carefully. There she is. Maybe by the final selection meet up in Glasgow, she could do the time there. Final of the women's 400 medley. So 2 lengths butterfly, 2 backstroke, 2 breaststroke and 2 freestyle. And right at the top there, Isabelle Goodwin of Leeds taking them out. That's quite interesting because Amy Wilmot in the centre is a very good 200 fly swimmer. Amy from training at Stirling. She's actually from Middlesbrough. And what a family. Black suit in the centre, turning just about first. Pretty close it was with lane number 1, Isabelle Goodwin. But the Wilmot family, her dad Stuart qualified for the Olympic Games for Great Britain and the LA Olympics in '84, swam this 400 medley, came 15th, was in the B final, and then managed to watch his daughter go to 2 Olympic Games in London 2012, was 11th on the 400 medley, and then made the final in Rio, was 7th. And then what a meet she had in the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast. She turns first, strong flyer. Wilmot leads. The time 4:36.3 is tough. She's really got to motor if she's going to do that. It is 3 seconds outside of her best, but 4:33 is an extraordinary lifetime best. So there's Wilmot, slightly bumpy backstroke, you could say. But over quickly, nice tight turn. Underwater, good streamline, good kick, good fly kick underwater. And she's gone out quickly. Well, let's hope she's in good shape because this is going to hurt down the back end. This really is going to hurt. She's going for it. And she's going for it in a big way. Freya Colbert of Nova in second, just about with that green hat. And MILLFIELD's Lily Booker in 3rd. Good breaststroker in lane 5. And Hannah Miley at the moment, well, the fly back element of her medleys, never the best. Breast and free is normally much better, but first to turn at the halfway mark very clearly. Amy Wilmot of the University of Stirling, coached by Steve Tigg. Already swam 2 Olympics, going for her 3rd, and wouldn't that be something? But she's turned really quickly, 2:12 for the 200 fly and back. That's very fast indeed. And she's looking good as well. If she can hold on to this, it would be a really impressive swim, all out on her own at the moment. Chasing her, Lily Booker now starting to take the 2nd position for MILLFIELD and the England performance squad. She swam well at the Manchester time trial meets as well. Lily Booker in 5, 2nd to turn there. Hannah Miley also going, well, extraordinarily well. She actually had foot surgery 2 years ago. Now she's just had shoulder surgery. But here, Amy Wilmot, well, it's all about Amy Wilmot at the moment in terms of can she make the time, 4:36.38. And she looks very, very good. She's swimming really well, I've got to say. 4:36.38. She's giving herself the best chance here. Be good to see her turn in about 30, 31 if she's going to make it. Oh, it's going to be tight, 3:30.8. She can do it off that, certainly can. 2 lengths to go in this final of the women's 400 metres individual medley at the British Swimming Selection Trials for the Tokyo Olympics. And from the start, Amy Wilmot has led and looks really good. And look at this, she's absolutely driving down this first 70 or 50 metres of the 100 freestyle. Second, still Lily Booker. Hannah Miley now trying to charge as well. So, what was that time there? It was 4:03. So she's got to come back in 33. I think she can do this, you know, I really do. Come on. The time, 4:36.38 for Amy Wilmot. She's still looking strong. Still going to elect. She's getting tired, getting a little bit ragged now, as you'd expect. Come on. Final 15 metres. Amy Wilmot looking for the time of 4:36.38. Oh, it's going to be so close. 4:36, head down, 38. She's got it, I think she has. 4:35.7. What an impressive swim. Oh, that's brilliant. What a gutsy swim, all on her own, way out in front from the start. Gracious me, that is massively impressive. Well done, Amy. Won the trial underneath the consideration standard. She will now stick her name right smack in the middle of the selection pot. That is super swim. Second was Lily Booker, 4:43.4. Third was Hannah Miley, 4:45. Well, if her shoulders held out well, that's a good sign for the rest of the year. Confirmation of the result then, 4:35.70. Oh, that's a great swim from Amy Wilmot, qualifying by 0.7 of a second. Lily Booker second, Hannah Miley third, Katie Shanahan fourth. All 43s, 44s, 45s. Hannah Miley could swim well. If she can get that shoulder rested, get a little bit of work under her belt, and make sure that she's ready for one of those final selection meets, she's giving herself a chance. As long as she looks after that shoulder, it'd be great to see her make her 4th Olympic Games. Wouldn't that be something? Amy Wilmot, all on her own. That's so hard to do. No crowd here, no atmosphere at all. By design, of course, with the COVID protocols here. Well done. I can't even imagine her dad, Stuart, now is going to be going absolutely nuts. He talks 1,000 miles an hour when nothing's happening, so a great guy. Oh, roommate of mine when we used to swim on the British team together. Yeah, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, Amy. No, go and swim down. It's her only race here. That's it, she's done. Day 1, night 1. Qualified for the final quite comfortably this morning. Actually swam well, 4:42 in the heats, and then 4:35. Gracious me. Well, if she's got any breath, it'd be really interesting to see what she has to say to Jazz. She's just walking very, very slowly over towards the towards the interview position, and she's walking even slower now because she's seen Jazz with a microphone. Oh dear, that's great. Oh, super. She's just having a drink of water. She deserves a massive swim down. I'll probably do a couple of miles if I were her, literally. Go in there and swim maybe 3,000 or 4,000. Well, so Jazz Carling now. Let's hear what she's got to say to the new winner. It is Amy Wilmot.
Amy, a gutsy swim. It was you against the clock. Nice to hear some cheering here. How was that for you?
It was tough. I knew it was going to be tough going into the race, kind of me versus the clock. So I just really tried to just get into my own race, and I thought if I'm dying, but I've gone for it, and I missed the consideration time, then so be it, but I kind of had to give myself a chance.
So this is the third Olympics now. You've been under the consideration time. What does it mean to you? You've got a lot of experience. What are your hopes heading into this year?
It's kind of a strange one, because after Rio, I didn't think I'd still be swimming towards Tokyo, and then it's been another year, so it's been like a 5-year cycle, so it's a really kind of strange one. Obviously, I'm really happy to have swam under the time, and yeah, fingers crossed it's enough and I can finish on a high in Tokyo.
Well, congratulations, Amy. We loved watching you race, and it's great to see you under that qualification time. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, that's one of the most gutsy swims I've seen in a long time, and certainly a fantastic swim from Amy Wilmot. She won that Commonwealth Games title out on the Gold Coast in Australia in 2018, and that was a little bit of a surprise probably to everybody, maybe but her and her dad Stu. But that was a great swim, just against the clock. No doubt about she was ever going to win the race, certainly going to do that. But underneath that consideration time, wow. Well, we've had some cracking races already, and look at this, the next one up, the men's 100 metres breaststroke, the big one. And going in this final, we have the world record holder, Adam Peaty, the world champion, the Olympic champion, and next to him, James Wilby, world championship silver medalist, and Ross Murdoch in lane 3, world championship bronze medalist from 2015. So Craig Benson in lane 8, University of Stirling, Greg Butler of the Loughborough National Centre, coached by Mel Marshall in 7, David Murphy in 6, also the Loughborough National Centre. There's 5 swimmers from the Loughborough National Centre in this final. Of course, they got this squad split into 2. Dave Hemmings coaches this young man, James Wilby, Commonwealth champion on the 200 metres breaststroke, world championship silver medalist on this, the 100, is pre-selected for the Olympic Games for the Great Britain team. And look at this. Oh, is he on it? Does he want it? Adam Peaty, look at that. Well, I just hope he can control that first 50. He looks really, really on it. He swam 57.7 this morning. And there, Ross Murdoch of the University of Stirling. Well, he's not out of making this team, you know. Swam 59.5 in the heats this morning, just off his Scottish record. If he goes a 58-something, he could make the team. The actual qualification consideration standards, 59.23. Archie Goodburn swam well this morning as well, just off his lifetime best to qualify for this final in 5th. And then Kyle Booth of City of Cardiff, another lifetime best by him, 61.5 he did to qualify for this final. And what an honour just to be in the final with these guys. I mean, this is an amazing final. Look at this lineup. Peaty, Olympic champion, goes in 4. James Wilby, world championship silver medalist, Commonwealth champion in 5 on the 200. Ross Murdoch, Commonwealth champion himself, back in Glasgow on the 200 breaststroke. He's in 3. What a field. Well, Adam Peaty is something else. Absolutely extraordinary. Unbeaten on this 100 metres breaststroke since 2014. Worldwide. He's in pretty good shape as well. Look at that. Look at those tattoos. Olympic rings just inside that left armpit. There's plenty of space for more as well. The final, the men's 100 metres breaststroke, the world record holder, Adam Peaty of Great Britain, in lane number 4. Swam a great heat, 57.7. Can he go quicker? The black hat in the centre. Well, he's been working on his starts, and that's a good start from Peaty. I've not seen him come up almost in line with the leaders, almost ever. And look at this first 25 metres. He's so quick. This is brilliant. He gets to 15 metres in 6.5 seconds. And look at this first 50. He's controlling it well. He looks very strong indeed. Of course, no Brit has ever successfully defended an Olympic swimming title. Surely he's going to have a right good crack at that in Tokyo in a couple of months' time. 26.69 the split. That's only 6/100ths of a second outside of his own world record split. Now he's got to control this second 50. Still going well though is James Wilby in the black hats closer to us. Ross Murdoch also going well up there in 3, but it's all about PT. The time, well, the world record, let's just have a quick look. The world record is 56.88. Look at that, 57.39. Oh my goodness me. Well, he's made it look easy. No swimmer, apart from PT, has ever gone under 58.28. He now holds the 20 fastest 100 meters breaststroke swims in history. 20. Nobody else anywhere near him. Unbelievable. Official results already in. Thank goodness. 57.39 for Peter. He wins the trial, and that will send shockwaves around the world because he's not really properly rested yet, you know. James Wilby, second, 58.76. That's inside the qualification standard. And Ross Murdoch, another good swim from him, I have to say. Pretty much the same as he went this morning, 2/100ths faster. Another good swim from him. But how do you compete against PT and Wilby? There's Wilby underneath the consideration time as well. So 2 pre-selected swimmers justifying that pre-selection. Look at that. He's in pretty good shape, isn't he? By far the best athlete in history on this breaststroke. 2.5% better than anyone else has ever gone on breaststroke. The fastest 20 times in history. He set the world record 5 times. The first time he set it actually was here at the World Championship Trials back in 2015. What a swim. What a swim. Oh. Well, after this morning's heats, I know he was talking to his coach and trying to get just some of those tiny little elements better. It'd be really interesting to see what he says about that. But that was a really impressive swim. And Adam Peaty,
Ready?
I think he's ready to talk to Jazz. Yes, he is. Let's hear what he has to say.
Oh, take it.
So, Adam, no other man has been under 58 seconds, and that was your 15th time under 58. How was that race for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot going on with a kid, moving house. So, you know, I'm happy to come here, put down. I think that's consolidated the top 20 now, ever. So, you know, for me, the execution was perfect. I'm way ahead of where I should be now, so I can take a lot of confidence into the summer, the Olympics, and have Great Britain in my back and, you know, show that the world we're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, this past 12 months has been a whirlwind for you. You now have a son. How much does that motivate you standing on those blocks?
Like nothing else, it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. Every day he gets older, every day you get more motivated, and he's learning to crawl and getting teeth and stuff, so that's another achievement. But, you know, it's great to obviously be a father and hopefully be an inspiration for him when he grows up.
Amazing. And I think, obviously, when we watch you swim, we think, how can he get any faster? But you always do. What are the aims heading into Tokyo this year?
I mean, there's always ways to get faster. I mean, there's no crowd, so it's a bit tough. But that was a mental game, and I still got to exactly where I needed to be. But, you know, it's 2 lengths to the pool, you know. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. I've got to do this, I've got to do this, when really you need a lot of this, you need a lot of this, and you need a lot of this.
Obviously, for the swimmers at home, it's been a really tough 12 months. Have you got a message for all those swimmers that are supporting you back home on the screens, watching the live stream?
I mean, I think it's been very, very tough, you know, not to take anything away from those athletes who have been out of the pool, but, you know, it's been extremely tough. And what got me through it was literally just looking at the little glimpse of light at the end of the tunnel. And if you can keep your eyes focused on that and power through every single day, waking up with a positive mindset, then you prove to yourself that you can do anything. And the next generation of athletes, if you're watching, you're going to be the most important generation to see where the world can go after COVID in 4, 6, 8, 10 years, when the veterans are all retired.
Well, that's great. And obviously, Adam, we can't wait to watch you in Tokyo. Well done on a cracking swim. And thanks for blessing us with 2:57s today.
Thank you.
Well, he only missed his own world record there by half a second. He's not properly rested yet. had a great start. I have to say, he's been working on the starts and turns, and I did have a quick chat with his coach, Mel Marshall, and she said he was going to be working on that, and goodness me, that was something special. And if you're in the rest of the world, no other swimmer's gone within a second of that ever. The second fastest human being is, I think it's Shamanovic. He's gone 58.2. He just went 57.3 and he's not rested. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So the next race up, well, how can you beat that? There's a ticket to Tokyo awaiting the winner if they can go under 57.92 for the 100 metres butterfly. Here's Yasmin Perry, the first to come out from Aberdeen Performance. She's from a huge lifetime best to qualify for this final. Now, Harriet West, watch out for her in 7. Her lifetime best is very quick indeed. There she is, now in 6. Alice Thomas, great 200 flyer. Commonwealth champion on the 200 fly from Swansea University. And that swim 2:05 that she did out there on the Gold Coast, taking the Australians down on the 200 fly, that was incredible. Laura Stevens, European junior bronze medalist, double bronze medalist on the 100 and the 200 fly, representing Plymouth Leander. Robin Armian, the coach at Plymouth. And Harriet Jones in 4. She's the Welsh record holder on the 50 metres butterfly. This the 100, so expect her to be out pretty quick. And then let's hope she can hold on. Kiana McInnes of Stirling, the world junior bronze medalist on the 200 fly, another great 200 flyer. Did a lifetime best to qualify for this final. 59.2. Be great to see her just dip under that 59, get into the 58s if she can. Emily Large, the world junior champion on the 200 flyers. Some great 200 flyers in this field. She swims at University of Edinburgh now. And the Scottish record holder, Tane Bruce of Edinburgh University, completes this lineup. 7th fastest for this final in lane number 1. So Tane Bruce will be at the top, but Harriet Jones, the fastest seed. Really hard to call this. The winner could come from absolutely anywhere. Watch out for lane 7, Harriet West. She's really quick. I think has the fastest lifetime best. Certainly one of them. Harriet Jones in the centre. Final of the women's 100 metres butterfly. Time they're looking for 57.92. Very good underwater from Harriet Jones in the centre, and it makes a big difference. Look at that. Really tight streamline. Used about 14 metres of the 15 allowed, and she's quick down this first 50. It's 35 metres, and she's got about a half a metre lead. She needs to get around this wall. Another great underwater if she can, and then see if she can bring it home. Hit the turn well as well. That's good to see. 26.67 for Jones first to turn. Up in 3, Kiana McInnes second. Laura Stevens third. And then expect Alice Thomas in the black hat, 3 from the bottom, to come back quickly. But she's holding on well at the moment, Harriet Jones. Can she bring it back down this last 25? Only 15 metres to go. And Harriet Jones of the city of Cardiff looking really good. The Welsh record holder on the 50 metres. She's tying up a little bit. Coming back is Laura Stevens. It's going to be right on the finish here. Really tight. Oh, it looks like Harriet's got it. Has she? Yes, she does. 57.79. And she has done the consideration time. What a swim from her. Well, she can't see the board. She can't see the times, but the announcer's just read out 57.7. She has done the qualification standard. That is brilliant. And those qualification standards are really tough. Harriet Jones winning 57.79. Laura Stevens just outside of it, by 6/100ths. 57.98 in second. And Alice Thomas third. Some great swims from those first two, certainly. Wow. Kiana McInnes fourth, Emily Large fifth. But Harriet Jones qualifies on the individual for the 100 fly. Well, puts herself in the pot for selection. That meeting on Monday. Well, if you win the trial and they set a time that is really tough and you do it, surely you're going to be on the plane. I can't see any other outcome for that. And particularly 57 now is starting to get pretty quick because we've got a great backstroker. Our breaststroke is good. I mean, it could be one of a few for the freestyle as well. But that is a really good swim. So the medley relay suddenly also starting to become a force. And I would imagine the selectors have suddenly got rather excited with that. It was probably our weakest leg of the medley relay, and 57.7. You take that every day of the week. I wonder if she knows she's done it. I hope she does. Unfortunately, when the swimmers finish on that finish line there's that great big board, which looks nice, but they can't see the scoreboard, so they can't see the times. There is another scoreboard just to the right-hand side of that shot. You can't quite see it, but that is a stunning swim there from Harriet Jones, and she was out. Her underwater's technically really good. Underwater off the start, underwater off the turn, again, really good, but held on when Laura Stevens started charging. A great swim for her as well. Over half a second lifetime best in second place for Laura Stevens. That's really good too. Well, surely she can make it with another couple of months of rest. I would imagine we could maybe have 2 swimmers under the standard. And those times are really tough. They've been set in order to make sure that they get at least a semi-final, possibly even a final swim. Harriet Jones now talking to Jazz Carling.
Harriet, a best time this morning and an even better time tonight to go into that consideration time. What does it feel to be here and to be in the best shape of your life?
Great, you know, with the COVID and that, it's just a different feeling to be here now, so all good.
You know, we know how much it means to you, and chatting to your coach earlier, he said you are the most amazing athlete, you work so hard. How has it been, obviously, for the past 12 months, you're training in Swansea, had a bit of a change. How has that change been for you?
Yeah, completely different. Moved out of home for the first time, so big difference, but yeah, it went well, so.
And this will be your first GB team. Obviously, we've seen you represent Wales, but the first time, I guess, for GB. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, always wanted to do it, so I'm super happy now.
Well, congratulations. We're so happy for you, and I know everyone was supporting you in Wales and Swansea at home, and congratulations.
Thank you.
I'll tell you what, I'd be dancing a jig if I just did that time. 7/10 of a second lifetime best, underneath the Olympic consideration standard for the individual. Of course, that women's 4x100 medley relay, that sticks her right in contention for that too. What's not to like? I'd be doing cartwheels. Fantastic swimming. Well, if you haven't seen enough already, this is going to be an absolute cracker. We've got Duncan Scott in lane 4, fastest seed for this, the final of the men's 200 metres individual medley. And he's surrounded by Litchfields. He's got Max Litchfield in 3 and Joe Litchfield in 5. Angus Allison of Warrender Baths Club in lane number 8. Did a lifetime best to qualify for this final. And in 7, Jakob Greenow of Bath University. Another lifetime best. In fact, 5 of the 8 finalists setting a lifetime best here to qualify for this British swimming selection trial. Another one here as well, European junior bronze medalist back in 2017, James McFadden, now at the Loughborough University. Swam under 2 minutes, 1:59.9. Great swim from him. Now, Joe Litchfield, I wonder whether he will challenge for the title here. He goes in 5, second fastest after this morning's heats. Great underwaters. Waiting for a really big drop from him as well. Duncan Scott, the British record holder on the 200 medley in the short course pool. Double Olympic silver medalist in the men's 4x2 free relay and in the men's 4x100 medley relay. And the second of the 2 Litchfields, third fastest after the heat, but he is the British record holder on this 200 medley, 156.6. Can he make the qualification standard? I'm pretty sure, well, certainly the first three well capable of doing it. Whether they do or not, the standard is 158.3. Mark Sharanek just going through the picture as well there. Mark Sharanek of University of Stirling achieved something that very few British swimmers have ever done, gone to university in the States and won their national collegiate title. NC2A champion. An old teammate of Caleb Dressel's as well. And completing the line up there in lane number 1, Cameron Brooker of the Bath National Centre, swimming with Joel Fink, swam a lifetime best to qualify, and Joel Fink having a great meet with that KIERAN Bird 400 freestyle, 3:46.0, and his best still to come on the 800 free. Well, tactically, this is going to be very, very interesting. There's Duncan Scott, individual bronze medalist at the World Championships on 200 metres freestyle. So the second fastest 100 freestyle leg at the back end of a medley relay to win the World Championships and overtake the Olympic champion. What a leg that was. British world champion in the medley relay for men. There's Litchfield in 3. Tattoos of the Olympic rings on his arm. The final of the men's 200 metres individual medley at this British swimming selection trials for the Tokyo Olympics. And this is going to be tight. I can see possibly 3 swimmers going under the standard, only 2 allowed to go. And the selection policy encourages you to win this trial underneath the standard. And then they will probably pick those swimmers, and then they will fill up the rest of the team after the future meets come through. The European Championships, for those who go there, there's a couple of other qualification meets that will be on. Duncan Scott looking good in the centre, very good flyer. Also going well, 1 lane closer to us in the black hat is Joe Litchfield with that pink suit. Litchfield looking very good indeed, but Duncan Scott looks like he might be the first to turn. Scott is over first, and over by what's nearly 0.6 of a second ahead of Max Litchfield in second. Joe Litchfield 1 lane up from the leader there in the black hat in third. Also going well is James McFadden of Loughborough University, closer to us of those 3 leaders. And Duncan Scott now, well, he's the British record holder on the short course 200 medley, and he's looking very good, and surely now he's not going to be caught because he is the world bronze medalist on the 200 metres freestyle individually, and surely you don't give him a lead with 50 metres to go, and the lead must be, what, a second and a bit? Goodness gracious me. Well, we're going to have to look at the British record here. Underwater for Litchfield. Watch that underwater. Look at that. A great underwater it was. And Joe Litchfield in the pink suit closer to us. His brother in the black hat. 1 lane up from Duncan Scott. But Duncan Scott looks really good here. Well, this is going to be a massive swim. Let's just look at the British record. It is 156.64. It's Litchfield's British record, 156.6, 155.9. He's just smashed the British record by 0.7 of a second, 3/4 of a second underneath the British record for Duncan Scott. That is phenomenal swim. Second was Joe Litchfield in 157, 157.74. So he's also well under the qualification standard. And that's a great swim from him too, but 155.9. Oh my goodness me. That is brilliant. Oh my word. I did not expect him to go that quickly. We knew he's on good form. He's been training really well, and Steve Tigg, his coach, was just saying watch him, but my word, 155.9 is a massive swim. Scott wins the trial underneath the standard for the Olympic Games qualification consideration. Also, Litchfield's time is better than that. Max Litchfield, third. McFadden, fourth. Great swim from them as well. Wow. I cannot believe that time, 155.9. Whoa. That's extraordinary. God, the way he swam it as well. The fly leg was really solid. He's a great 100 fly swimmer. He's going to be doing the 100 fly here at this meet. Backstroke was stronger than I expected, breaststroke, he's really good. Got a lovely high action on his breaststroke, but the freestyle leg and breaking the British record just outside the Commonwealth record by just 0.2 of a second as well. 18/100ths, in fact. Wow. Well, if the world needs to see a marker for 200 medley, that is it. That should put him comfortably in a centre lane. He's waving to the crowd. There isn't one. There are no spectators. Oh, bless him. That would normally have an absolute standing ovation. There's Max Litchfield going through the picture there, hugging his brother. Great to see those two. And Joe on the left-hand side there. I think that was a lifetime best, a big lifetime best for him it was. And underneath the consideration time as well on the left-hand side in that pink suit. So Scott wins it, Joe Litchfield second, Max's brother third. And a great swim from McFadden, 158.7 in fourth. He swam a lifetime best to make the final, 159.9. He's just gone 158.7. He's one for the future. Wow. Wow. I'm still in shock, I'm afraid. I've got to say, that time was extraordinary. I shouldn't be too surprised because the guy's brilliant. And I would imagine in Tokyo we will be hearing the name Duncan Scott several times, hopefully on the middle podium. And Duncan is now talking to Jazz Carling.
Duncan, a British record under the consideration time on your first swim. That must feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since a long course tapered meet, obviously August 2019, so just grateful to be able to be here. But yeah, delighted with that swim. Big PB, and yeah, happy to move things on.
How do you manage, because you have such a busy programme of events, how do you manage them all in training, but also here, I guess a lot of recovery and resting up for the next swim?
Yeah, happy days for me. I've got a day off. That doesn't happen often tomorrow, so yeah, lying. I don't want that 6:45 training session that's an option, so I'll go in the afternoon. But yeah, balancing it, I think I've got to go down to Brad and Steve, the way they're able to balance the sessions and different prioritizations throughout the week. But yeah, it's been quite a lot of work on the breaststroke. I don't know if it paid off, but yeah, no, I enjoyed doing a lot of the medley stuff. It's really good fun.
Well, it's incredible to see you swim. Obviously, a British record in this pool. We've got Joe coming through next, who has also achieved the consideration time. So if we can bring Joe in and have a couple of questions. Duncan, we can't wait to see you for the rest of the week.
Happy days!
Right, congratulations, Joe, under the consideration time. An amazing swim. How was that for you?
Hard. I think it's amazing how it was only, 0.6 faster than this morning, but it felt a lot harder. Yeah, it was really good. I'm so happy with that. It's kind of been like a long time coming. I think last season, obviously, trials getting cancelled. Thought I had a good time coming into that, but then obviously had to wait a year, and then obviously it's all come out in the first day here, and I'm really, really chuffed.
You've really had a breakout year this year. You've been working hard with your coach, Dave Hemmings. What have you put these past couple of years down to? Have you been focused on some different things?
Yeah, I think just everything with Dave and Andy. Huge shout out to Andy as well, both coaches up there at Loughborough. Huge help for the last year or so, strength. We've done a lot of paddles and I've really hated it, but we put Andy and Dave have put me and Max through our paces, and it's paying off. And I think at the moment it's quite weird because I'm not used to how I'm sort of at this level, but I'm getting more used to it, and it's sort of becoming more of a norm. But yeah, it's so good. I'm really happy. Well,
you better get used to it because there's so much more to come. Good luck for the rest of the week. That was amazing to watch you swim.
Thank you.
Well, let me tell you why I was so excited about that time. 155.9, a new British record for Duncan Scott on the 200 medley. The fastest in the world over the last 18 months is 156.2. Over the last 18 months, 156.2. And he's just gone 155.9, so he's the fastest in the world by nearly 0.4 of a second. Goodness me. And the second time, the time there for Joe Litchfield, just outside the world's top 5. Brilliant. Well, if you've enjoyed that, the schedule for day 2, again, some cracking swimming tomorrow. And KIERAN Bird back in the 800 on his better event. What can he do on that? Men's 200 fly, such a tough event. James Guy, I think we'll be seeing going in that one. 100 backstroke for women. Of course, Kathleen Dawson just gone a 58.6. Men's 100 back will be great swim as well. pre-qualified swimmer there, Luke Greenbank. And then women's 200 breaststroke, where we got the world's top-ranked breaststroker, Molly Renshaw. 800 freestyle we just talked about, and then the women's 800 free. What a day that's going to be. What a night. Well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning for the heats tomorrow. Join us again. What an evening swimming. Some brilliant stuff. And a couple of guys booked their tickets to Tokyo.